really, really well and all that. Okay. So, all right, so let's see. So, is everybody, all right, what did I just do? Am I getting lost? All right, yeah, I'm in the wrong page, sorry. All right, so is everybody got that, I wasn't recording, so I feel bad, so let me say, has everybody got that recorded? Everybody's got that down. So that's in the notes now. That's up there. So again, one more time, decreasing time, critical path, and nearest neighbor, repetitive nearest neighbor, achievement, they're all approximate and efficient. The only difference is brute force, which is optimal and inefficient. All right, and the first 2 pages of the Practice M3 are on youtube.com, Brett Heron, Math 45 playlist, 8.2. All right, enough of that. Oh, and the air. And then this, for number 23, you got to use this air formula. N minus 1, here it is again, N minus 1 over 3N, N minus 1 over 3N, and we plug in the 7 right there and right there. We put in 7. All right, you got it. Let's move on. So, there. All right, so how do we do this thing? I hope this is getting more comfortable for you. So, basically, tasks that must be completed before the task is started. These are the pre. Right? So that means C must point to A. E must point to A. G must point to A. Good? Does that make sense? B must point to C. E must point to D. Oops, I went a little too far there. Whoops. F must point to E. B must point to G. F must point to G. All right. So is there any letter that doesn't have anybody pointing to it? How do you know where to start? What letters do we start with? B and F are the starters because there's no pre. There's no pre for B and F. Does everybody see that? B and F have no predecessor, nothing that comes before them. Right? Everybody see that? B and F have no pre, so that must mean they come from the start. So the start points to B, and the start points to F. Good so far? Now where do we go from there?
Let's see. C, E.
I'm going to erase all this mess.
And G.
So B and F. So where do we go? Yeah, what does B point to? B points to C. Real good. So I encourage you to just mark them off as you go or whatever. B, anything else B goes to? Yeah, B also goes to G, huh? So B also goes to G. And what about F? F goes to that one right there, E. F goes to E. Anything else that B, and F also goes to G. So, right, 2 arrows going to G there. Both B and F go to G in the middle.
And then,
anything else?
Need C, E, and G.
Yeah, E to D. Oh, yeah, and I forgot all these up here, huh? All those go to A. What is it? C. So C, E, and G all point to A. And that's it, right? And then A must go to the end.
A and D go to the end.
Oh, thank you. Good eye, Carl. Yeah, D wasn't going anywhere either. Yeah, anybody that's not pointing away has to go to the end. So A and D. I was just thinking A at first. Good job. A and D both go to the end, don't they? Because D wasn't pointing at anything else either.
I wonder if it'll be easier just to place the points and then draw the arrows after.
I don't think so, because the arrows tell you where the points go. But whatever you want to try.
I'm just saying if you could visualize the points and then just put the arrows after.
Sure, you can certainly try that. Is that good? Does that make sense then? How to do that? And just make sure you got them all. I just looked up there. I got this one, 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 this one. So I got all the arrows. And then, do you see why D and A both point to the end? Because they're not pointing away to anything else. And you see how we started with B and F? Because B and F had nothing before them, no pre. on B and F, so they were the starters. Okay, let's go to 25. We good with that? We'll go to 25. All right. So 25, use 2 processors and do that whole map thing there. All right. So, in fact, let me get. All right. So, how you doing on 25? We got 25 minutes. So let's give it a try. So processor 1, processor 2. Well, maybe we better leave a little room here. Okay, processor. How far do we need to go? I don't know. Maybe 21, like 20 or something. Yeah. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 9, 10, this will be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So there's 24. All right, so we got to map this out. So, all right, so did you do the first one? So start with, start with processor 1. What are the options for processor 1? Yeah, you can start with A, B, or C. Remember, you always go to the arrow diagram first, right? It's always the arrow diagram first. So A, B, or C are the options. So let me just write that down real quick. So A, B, or we always start with processor 1, not 2. So A, B, or C are the options. All right. In this problem, when we have options,
refer to the alphabetical.
Yeah, we're doing this. We're not doing biggest number. Does everybody see that? This is where everybody gets tripped up. Not everybody. This is where about half the students get lost, usually. I'm hoping you guys are an exception to that, right? You see that? You see how I'm doing that? It's not always highest number, right? They can give us different plans of priority lists. They'll tell you, though. See how it says priority list alphabetical? So that means when you have options, you just take the first one in the alphabet. It has nothing to do with the numbers, at least on this one. In a minute, I'll give you a problem where I will say take the highest number. I'll do decreasing time. So that means highest number, right? So if I was doing highest number, I would do A because he's high. Well, I guess I would do C, wouldn't I? I would do C because that's the highest number. But I'm not doing decreasing time. I'm doing alphabetical, they said. So start with A. Does that make sense? You're just simply going alphabetical when you have options. So A is how long? A is an 8-hour job. A will be done in 8 hours. Is that good? All right. Now, did you do the, if you haven't done it, do the next one. So, so it's going to be, who's going to be next? So we have options are B or C. So we could do B or C, right? And which one, alphabetically? B will come first because B is before C in the alphabet. We're doing alphabetical this time. So B will go first. B is a 5-hour job. There's B, 5-hour job. Good? Okay, so we'll give everybody a chance. Try to do the next one. If you have not, do the one that comes next. So which processor comes back to the office and is ready for a job?
2.
Processor 2 is ready first. Right? Because in 5 hours he's done. So he comes back. What are the options for processor 2?
Just C.
Yeah, because B's done. A's being worked on by processor 1. The only option is C. So I don't even need to look at any priority lists or anything. The only option is C. Right? Everybody with me on that? C is a 9-hour job. 9 add 5. What's that, 14? C goes out to 14. 5 add 9. 14. Good? For job C. Who comes into the office next, ready for another job? Yeah, processor 1 at 8 hours. Finishes up the A job. Okay. What's available? And processor 2's down here working on C. What jobs are available to processor 1? Just D. This is a pretty easy map, not too complex. Just D. So it's going to do, there's no other options, right? E's not available because we're not done with C yet, right? So only D. D's available. 7-hour job. 8 add 7. What's that, 15? For D. So I took the 8 hours, added D, which is a 7-hour job, to 15. 8 add 7, 15. Good so far. Who comes into the office next, ready for a job? Processor 2 is ready 1 hour before processor 1 at 14 hours. Processor 2 comes in, says, I'm ready for another job. At this point, oh no, D's not done. C, he finishes up job C. Processor 1's working on D. What's available? Only E. It's all that's available. See, most of the time the arrow diagram dictates it, and you don't even have any options. You don't care about the priority list. You just do what the arrow diagram says. It's only when the arrow diagram gives you options that you then think about alphabetical or highest number or whatever, right? All right, so E is the only option. What's that, 6 hours? 6, 14 add 6, 20. Right, it's a 6-hour job. 14 add 6, 20. Take them out to 20 hours. All right, who's the next one in the office ready for a job? Yeah, D. Processor 1 will be done with D at 15 hours. And E's, yeah, processor 2 is already working on E. So the only option is F, 6-hour job. Take him to 21. Good. 15 add 6 is 21 for F. Who's next ready for a job? Yeah, processor 2 finishes E at 20 hours, 1 hour before processor 1 finishes F. And so processor 1's up here working on that. So what's the only option for processor 2? G, 2-hour job. Takes him to 22. Next one done is processor 1, finishes F, and then there's nothing to do. This is idle right here. And the job finishes at 22 hours. Good? Not too bad? Pretty straight ahead on that one, right? Try to get to a harder one. You okay with that? Okay. 3 processors, alphabetical. Let's do it. So processor 1, processor 2, processor 3. So this is harder when you got 3 of these things. So I'm going to mark off the time. I don't know how much time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Hopefully that'll cover it. 20 will? 21 will, huh? All right. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And okay, so and I guess we need numbers on these guys too. Okay, so who's first? Processor 1. What are the options for processor 1? Well, same thing, A, B, and C, right?
Just A.
So what's he's going to alphabetical, so he's going to do job A for 8 hours. Good there? Processor 2, what are his options? B and C. Which one will he do? Alphabetical B. So if we're doing decreasing time, he would take C. Right? But it's B. We go to alphabetical, 5-hour job there for B. And then C, 9-hour job for processor 3. Good? Good so far? They just go alphabetical. If we did decreasing time, then the first guy would have taken C, biggest number, followed by A, followed by B, right? Okay, so now, who's the first one that comes back in the office ready for another job? Processor 2. Processor 2 comes in at 5 hours ready for another job, huh?
But there isn't anything he could do.
Yeah, but look, what B is done, exactly. B is done at that point, right? Right at 5 hours. Focus with me at 5 hours. At 5 hours, B is done. A and C are being worked on. A is being worked on by processor 1. C is being worked on by processor 3, actually, huh? Processor 3 is working on that one. There's nothing available. Right, exactly. Right, you might think, well, can't we go on to D? No, not until A and B are both done. Can't go on to D, and A's not done yet. Can't go on to E. F. So there's nothing for processor 2 to do but idle time. So you go on up to the next till the next job is done. So what's the next job? 8 hours. So this is all idle time. You with me? See how that's all idle? Because there's no job we can give him. So come on up to 8 hours. Now at 8 hours, both these guys are in the office. And job A is now done. So job A is now done. Right? A and B are both done. Now, they're both in the office at the same time. So when they're both there, you're going to go first with processor 1. Remember, when two people are available, you always do with the first processor. So processor 1, what job is available to processor 1? D, only D. Right? D is available. 7-hour jobs. 7 at 8 is 15. So that'll be D. So processor 2 continues to be idle. Go up to the next time somebody's done. Go up to 9 hours. At 9 hours, job C is done. Job C is done. At 9 hours, job C is done. And both processor 2 and 3 are available for a job. Who's going to get the next job? 2. When both 2 and 3 are available, the job's going to go to 2. What job's available? E is the only job available. 6-hour job. 9 add 6 is 15, right? See, it was from 9 add 6, 15 for job E. And what's processor 3 doing? Idle. Idle during all that time. Am I going too quick? Do you see that? Making sense? And then at 15 hours, both D and E get finished simultaneously. And all 3 employees are available again. Who's going first? Processor 1. What job's available? F and G are both available. Going alphabetical, F becomes before G. Oh, what did I just do? F becomes before G in the alphabet. So F. F is a what job? 6-hour job? 21. Yeah, like you said, 21. It's going to end. And then processor 2 gets job G. 2-hour job. And processor 3 is just idle all the way to the end. And processor 2 is idle the rest of the way. A lot of idle time in there. Not the most efficient. In fact, notice, isn't that the same map that we did in the last one? Isn't that the exact same, or is it similar? Exactly the same? Is it different? A little different? Okay. Looks similar. Anyway. Because the answer didn't come out much better and we had 3 processors instead of 2. Anyway, we good with that? Is that okay? You all good with that? No, that's the exact same map. I'm looking at it. That's the exact same map. 27 and 28 are the exact... They just have 25 and 6. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong two problems. Oh, yeah, that's the same, right? Yeah, 25 and 26, those are the same 2 questions. Except 2 processors and now 3. How long did it take us to do the job? Back here? Here we go. 22. Took us 22. How long did it take us now? 21. We saved 1 hour by having a 3rd employee. Right, so that's how management makes decisions on whether it's wise to have another employee. It only saved 1 hour. So that's not, in this situation anyway, they shouldn't hire a 3rd employee. That's how they make those kind of decisions. All right, let's move on. Everybody good with how we're doing that? That making sense? And now E, now right here, oh, come on. And now there, that one's available. What's he going to do next? Yeah, next lowest number is C. 5-hour, that'll take him right to 25, won't it? Then they're both available at 25. That means processor 1 goes first. What job we have left? Just A, right? Guess I'm missing something. A at 29. This will be idle up to 29. They finish the job at 29. A little bit of idle time. Good? No questions? All right. So now the big bad 28. Let's finish up with that one. All right. There's 28. So basically, if you read all the words, it says put the critical time next to each of them. So let's start with that. Means the bracket numbers, right? Critical time. Up here it says critical time. Put the bracket numbers. So remember how you do that. You add from right to left. So 0, add 6 is just 6. 0, add 2 is just 2. Good so far? And now, 2, add 6 is 8. Add 9, 17. Very good. Let's go up here. 6, add 7. 13, add 8. 21. Here, 13, add 5. Just running these arrows backwards, aren't I? Is 18.
And the start's highest number.
Yeah, in the start, you take the highest option. The 21. Yeah, sure. You can put 0 by the end if you want. I don't really care. I won't even care.
So for the timeline, are we going to do 2 processors?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do. So what I could ask you to do, I don't even remember, but I very likely could ask you. So this one I said don't do more, but on the real test I probably say go ahead and do a 2 processors thing using those critical times now. So now let's do that with our 4 minutes that remain. Let's crank out a schedule. 2 processors, critical path. Now, what does critical path mean? Highest number. Just like decreasing time. Highest number first. But with the brackets instead of the parentheses. See, you everybody understand the difference then? The only difference between decreasing time and critical path is brackets or parentheses. They're both highest number first. The critical path, you have the bracket numbers. So start at the highest bracket because you're looking down the road. All right. So go ahead, processor 1. Kind of running out of room here. And a mess. We're getting off here. Okay. Okay. So what are the options for processor 1? A or B or C, right? A or B or C is the options the arrow diagram gives me. So which option will processor 1 take? A. Why A? Bracketed number is highest. Highest bracket. So that's a... Now careful, it's not a 21-hour job, it's an 8-hour job, right? Use the parenthesis number for the job time. All right, and what about processor 2? Which job will he take? B. It's coming out the same as alphabetical, it turns out. But B, because that's the next highest number. 18 is higher than 17. B is a 5-hour job. All right. Who's available next? Which one shows back in the office ready for a new job? Processor 2, 5 hours. He comes back, says, boss, I'm ready for a new job. So what's it? Yeah, the only A is being worked on by processor 1. B is done. The only thing available is C. 9-hour job. 9 add 5. What's that? 14. Right. 5. I added 9. 14. Who's available next for a new job? Processor 1 at 8 hours is done. At that point, A and B are done. A and B are done. C is being worked on by processor 2. What's available? D. This is coming out the same as alphabetical, isn't it? C is the only thing available. 7-hour job. What's that? 15? Oh, did I say D? D is available. Yeah, D. So 8 add 7 is 15. Right? By the way, I didn't even look at the bracket numbers because there was no options. It was only D. It was available from the arrow diagram. So who's done first? C at 14 hours. Cross off the C. A D's being worked on by processor 1. Who's available? E. I'm not even looking at the bracket numbers again. Do you see when the arrow diagram only gives me one option, I don't care what the priority list is. Alphabetical, decreasing time, whatever. Arrow diagram first. And if that only gives me one option, I do what the arrow diagram says. He's saying the only job available is E. Right? F's not available because D's not done yet. Right? At this time, right? D's still got an hour to go. I'm at 14. This guy shows up at the office first at 14 hours. And the only job available is E. Give him E, which is a 6-hour job. Take him to 20. Who's available next? D is done. Job D is done. Processor 1 comes in, is ready for a new job. The only thing available is F. That'll take him, what, to 21? That's F at 21. Next, at 20, E comes in, processor 2 finishes E. G is the only thing available. 22-hour job. And then 1 hour of idle time. There it is. So, I didn't ask that on the practice exam, but I might on the real exam. That would be the actual critical path, right? Scheduled job. Let me do your clicker and we'll be done. All right. Clickers are open.